Got a warm drink nearby. Let your mind ease, because this story's worth slowing down for. Ready to dive in with me? If you've ever faced a moment where trust was tested, stick with me to the end. You'll see that sometimes brutal honesty the only way to protect those we love. Hey, listener, you're about to step into a story where family love faces a quiet test, built on trust that's about to be shaken. I'm Laura, 39, a single mom to my daughter Emily, 7, living in a spacious house in Portland, Oregon. My younger brother Ryan, 32, lives in Nevada with his girlfriend Danielle, 35, their baby boy Liam, almost 1, and her 2 daughters, Sophia, 5, and Madison, 8. Our bond is tight, our homes open to each other, kids laughing like cousins. But beneath the warmth, a crack is forming, and I'm about to learn how fragile trust can be. Let's start where the joy still felt unbreakable. I've always been the big sister Ryan could count on. Growing up, I patched his scraped knees, cheered at his soccer games. Now, as a paralegal with a steady income, I've got a cozy 3-bedroom house, hardwood floors, a big backyard, perfect for kids. Emily's my world, her giggles lighting up my days. Ryan's my opposite, free-spirited, a mechanic with a knack for fixing anything but his own plans. He met Danielle 2 years ago, and they clicked fast, blending their family with Liam's arrival. Danielle's warm, a nurse who juggles her girls and baby with grit. I liked her instantly. She fit our family's vibe. Ryan and Danielle live in Reno, a 6-hour drive, but they visit often, piling into my guest room for weekends. My house is their home away from home. Emily, Sophia, and Madison chase each other through the yard, building forts, while Liam babbles in his high care. We cook big dinners, spaghetti or tacos, laughing over old stories. Ryan's goofy impressions make the kids howl, and Danielle's quick humor keeps up. I love these visits, the chaos of a full house, the feeling of being the anchor for my brother's growing family. At 39, I've worked hard to create this haven, and opening my doors feels like love in action. Our bond is built on trust. Ryan's always been honest, even about his screw-ups, like when he lost a job or maxed a credit card. I'd listen, offer advice, never judge. With Danielle, he's steadier, and I trusted her to text me about Liam's milestones, share parenting tips. We weren't just family, we were a team, raising our kids with shared values, kindness, honesty, togetherness. Emily adored her cousins, and I saw Ryan as more than a brother, a partner in keeping our family tight, no matter the miles. The visits were seamless. I'd stock the fridge, set up air mattresses, and let the kids run wild. Danielle and Ryan would chip in groceries, a bottle of wine, or Ryan fixing my leaky faucet. It wasn't about keeping score, it was about showing up for each other. Laura, ever the peacemaker, smoothed any hiccups, like when the girls fought over toys. Plenty to share, I'd say, diffusing with a smile. My house was a sanctuary, a place where everyone belonged, and I prided myself on keeping it that way. No questions asked. But beneath the surface, I hadn't noticed the weight of my role. Hosting meant planning, cleaning, stretching my budget for extra mouths. I didn't mind families worth it, but I assumed Ryan and Danielle saw the effort, valued it. At 39, I'd learned to trust without second-guessing, believing love meant open doors and open hearts. Ryan's gratitude, Danielle's hugs, the kids' laughter, it all felt like enough. I didn't dig deeper, didn't ask if their visits carried hidden costs, emotional or otherwise. My faith in our bond was absolute, a warmth I leaned into without checking for cracks. Looking back, I see the blind spot. Ryan's life in Reno was messier than he let want. Tight finances, Danielle's long shifts, the stress of a blended family. But he'd show up smiling, and I'd take it at face value. Danielle's stories about her girls, her job, painted a picture of stability, and I didn't probe. My house, my welcome, was my gift to them, but I never asked what they brought in return, beyond groceries and grins. At the time, it didn't matter. He trusted our love, our history, to keep us balanced. Those weekends, with kids shrieking and pots simmering, were my happy place. Emily's drawings taped to the fridge. Liam's chubby hands grabbing my finger. Ryan's arm around me saying, "You're the best, sis. I thought we were unbreakable. A family woven by choice as much as blood. But trust, even in the closest bonds, can hide shadows," and I was about to face a truth that would test how deep our love ran. Listener, Laura's family haven is glowing, but a storm's brewing beneath the laughter. Can trust hold when secrets surface, or will her open heart pay a price? Stay with Metha's stories about to unravel a test of family ties. Laura's Portland home had always been a haven for her brother Ryan and his family. At 39, a single mom to Emily. 7, she welcomed Ryan. 32, his girlfriend Danielle. 35, their son Liam, nearly 1, and Danielle's daughters, Sophia, 5, and Madison, 8, for joyful weekends. The kids played like siblings, and Laura, the trusting big sister, kept the peace. But a seemingly small incident after one visit would crack that trust wide open, exposing a betrayal that turned her open-door policy into a battleground and forced her to confront the limits of family love. The weekend had been a whirlwind. As always, Emily, Sophia, and Madison tore through the backyard, building blanket forts and staging toy tea parties, while Liam cooed in his playpen. Laura cooked a big lasagna, Ryan fixed a squeaky door, and Danielle shared stories from her nursing shifts. Sunday evening, as Ryan's family packed to leave, Emily ran to Laura, eyes teary. "Mom, my favorite dolls are Gonna the mermaid and the astronaut." Laura's heart sank. Emily cherished those toys, gifts from her late grandma. "Don't worry, sweetie, we'll find them," she said, assuming they were misplaced. Laura searched the guest room, under couches, even in the toy bin, but the dolls were nowhere. She gently asked Sophia and Madison, playing nearby, "Have you seen Emily's dolls?" The girls exchanged glances, Sophia fidgeting, Madison staring at the floor. Their silence felt off, not the usual chatter of kids. Laura's stomach tightened, but she stayed calm, not wanting to accuse. Ryan, overhearing, chimed in, "I saw those dolls in the girls' room yesterday." "Didn't I?" He checked to gain a thing. The air grew tense, the kids' quiet unease raising red flags. Then Laura noticed Sophia clutching her backpack, Madison hovering protectively. "Girls, can I see what's in there?" Laura asked, voice soft but firm. Danielle, packing Liam's diapers, snapped, "Why?" "They're just toys." But the girls' shifty eyes told another story. Ryan, sensing the mood, stepped in. "Let's just check." "Okay. No big deal." He knelt by Sophia, who reluctantly opened her bag. Inside were Emily's mermaid and astronaut dolls, plus a handful of other toys, a puzzle, a stuffed fox, all Emily's. Laura's heart dropped. "These are Emily's," she said, holding up the dolls, her voice shaking. Danielle's face hardened. They must have mixed things up. Kids do that. But the sheer number of items, stuffed deliberately in the bag, wasn't a mistake. Laura's trust, so freely given, began to crack. "Ryan, check the suitcase," she said, her tone no longer gentle. Danielle exploded. "You're accusing my kids of stealing. That's ridiculous." She yanked the suitcase away. But Ryan, loyal to his sister, insisted. "We need to know, Danielle. Let's be sure." With Danielle glaring, Ryan unzipped the suitcase. Buried under clothes were more of Emily's favorite sweater, a pair of sparkly sneakers, even a hairbrush. Laura's shock turned to fury. These weren't toys mistaken in play. This was deliberate, a haul taken from her daughter's room. "What is this?" she demanded, holding up the sneakers. Danielle's defense crumbled, but she doubled down. "The girls said Emily gave them these. They thought it was okay." Her voice was sharp, protective, but the lie was flimsy. Sobbing nearby, shook her head, whispering, "I didn't." Laura's anger boiled over. Danielle's excuseth at her girls were promised the items was absurd, a cover for theft. Worse, it wasn't just toys, clothes, personal items, taken from a 7-year-old by kids coached or encouraged to take. Ryan stood frozen, caught between his sister and his partner. "Danielle, this isn't right," he said quietly, but she snapped, "You're siding with her. Over your own family?" Laura, done with excuses, unleashed her hurt. "You brought your kids into my home, and they stole from my daughter. You're defending this. You're not welcome here anymore, not you. Not them." The room fell silent, Emily's sniffles the only sound. Danielle grabbed Liam, stormed to the car, the girls trailing, backpacks abandoned. Ryan lingered, torn. "Laura, I'm sorry," he mumbled. "I didn't know." But Laura's trust was shattered not just in Danielle, but in the family she'd opened her heart to. Her home, her sanctuary, felt violated, her generosity repaid with deceit. At 39, she prided herself on keeping family close, but this betrayal's more items, big leaks get deep, exposing a truth she hadn't seen coming. As Ryan's car pulled away, Laura held Emily, the stolen toys back but the warmth gone. She questioned everything, Danielle's warmth, Ryan's silence, her own blind faith. The kids' laughter, once a glue, now echoed like a warning. Her open door had invited hurt, and she wasn't sure who to trust anymore. Listener, Laura's family bond is reeling from a theft that's more than Toysit's trust. Can she forgive? Or is this rift too deep? Stay with Metha's stories about to face the fallout of love betrayed by those closest. Laura's Portland home, once a haven for her brother Ryan's family, was now a place of broken trust. At 39, a single mom to Emily, 7, Laura had welcomed Ryan, 32, his girlfriend Danielle, 35, their son Liam, nearly 1, and Danielle's daughters, Sophia, 5, and Madison, 8. But when Emily's toys, clothes, and more were found hidden in the girls' bags, Laura's discovery of theft shattered her faith. Danielle's excuses and refusal to explain led Laura to ban her from the house, straining her bond with Ryan. Now, facing fallout and a deeper truth, Laura must decide how to protect her family while salvaging what's left of their ties. The aftermath was messy. Danielle fired off a long text, dripping with venom. "You humiliated me in front of my kids. Laura, you've traumatized them over toys. You're heartless." Laura's phone buzzed with more animus messages, likely Danielle's friends, calling her petty and cruel. The attack stung, twisting her resolve. Had she been too harsh? At 39, Laura prided herself on keeping family close, but Danielle's accusations painted her as the villain, not the victim of theft. Doubt crept in, but Emily's tear-streaked face, clutching her returned dolls, anchored her. Protected her daughter, no matter the cost. Ryan called, his voice heavy. "Danielle messed up. Laura, the girls shouldn't have taken anything, but yelling in front of them. Maybe you could have handled it privately." His words cut deep. His loyalty split between sister and partner. Privately, Laura shot back, hurt. "They stole from Emily, Ryan. Danielle lied to my face. What was I supposed to do? Smile and wave?" Ryan sighed, admitting Danielle's excuse that the girls were promised the items was flimsy, but he begged for peace. "The kids are upset. Can't we work this out?" Laura wanted to, but trust was gone, replaced by a need to shield her home. Laura wrestled with her heart. She loved Ryan, adored Liam, even cared for Sophia and Madison. Hurting them wasn't her goal, but excusing theft was unthinkable. Danielle's refusal to take responsibility, her pivot to victimhood, showed a deeper flaw. Laura couldn't let Emily grow up thinking betrayal was okay, or that family meant swallowing lies. At 39, she saw the stakes. Her daughter's sense of safety, her own values, demanded boundaries, even if it meant fracturing the family she'd fought to keep whole. Ryan's doubts about Danielle grew, his faith shaken by her defensiveness. He confided in Laura, "Something's off. She's been cagey about money." Her past, Laura, ever the big sister, dug in, her paralegal skills sharp. She searched public records, finding troubling hints. Danielle's name tied to past evictions, a dismissed fraud case. Nothing concrete, but enough to raise alarms. When Ryan found unexplained cash in Danielle's bag, he confronted her, only to get more excuses. The patterned deception, deflection mirrored the theft, and Ryan's trust crumbled too. The breaking point came when Ryan, haunted by doubts, decided to act. "I need to know who she is," he told Laura, voice raw. He packed a bag, took Liam, and drove to Portland, asking to stay with Laura. "I want a paternity test," he said, eyes hollow. "If Liam's mine, I need to protect him." Laura opened her door, not just to her brother, but to the truth they both craved. She felt no guilt, no her stand against Danielle's lies had sparked Ryan's awakening, saving him from a relationship built on shadows. Emily hugged Liam, the cousins' bond a small light in the storm. Laura's house was a refuge again, but different, guarded, wiser. She and Ryan didn't know what the DNA test would show, or if Danielle's past hid worse secrets. But Laura stood firm, her boundaries a shield for Emily, Liam, and Ryan. She had lost the illusion of a perfect family, but gained clarity. Trust, once broken, demanded truth, not apologies. At 39, she'd chosen honesty over harmony, and it felt like strength, not loss. Ryan, grappling with his choices, leaned on Laura, their sibling bond a lifeline. They'd face the results together, rebuilding their family on truth, not blind faith. Laura looked at Emily, playing with Liam, and knew she'd done right. Protecting her daughter's world meant protecting her own heart. So, listener, thanks for staying. Laura's boundaries cost her peace, but saved her family's truth. Would you have banned Danielle, or sought a quieter fix? When's a time you set a hard line for love? Share Bellowim here. And if you're facing betrayal, remember, boundaries don't push love away, they make it honest. Keep listening, life's full of truths that redefine family.